8 tips to boost your online marketing efforts. Statistically, more than 90% of online experiences begin with a search engine, and that emphasizes the need of you to improve the SEO health of your website if you are to reach the millions of people you desire to. So, on top of your current online marketing efforts, consider the following 8 SEO tips to further elevate your marketing game. Number 1, outsource. Running your business must already be busy enough to keep you occupied the whole day. As such, you may end up sparing very little time to work on your website. But frankly, you'll never make a big leap in your SEO efforts if you don't invest good time and resources. One great approach is to delegate your SEO campaigns to an online SEO service. They should be able to give you professional advice on how to optimize your website to improve your search engine ranking. Such an arrangement gives you more time to focus on running your business, while others actively market your business around the clock. Number 2, commit for the long term. It's important to get into SEO world with a clear understanding of what it takes to rank highly. The authority websites that constantly appear on the first page of search engines didn't get there by luck. They spent many years working on their websites and dominating certain keywords. Similarly, don't expect to put together a couple of articles and hope that will magically get to you to the first page of search engines results. Get into SEO with a long-term mindset. Plan to make work on your website's SEO for years on end. Number 3, do keyword research. Don't get into content creation before knowing the keywords you should target. You may end up posting hundreds of thousands of articles on your website but fail to reap the benefits of content marketing. Your content needs to revolve around a specific set of keywords. Ensure your articles correctly capture most of the search terms that internet users usually key in on search engines. Also consider the keywords that your competitors rank for, and find ways to improve your website content to rank highly for the same keywords. Number 4, guest post for backlinks. Backlinks greatly improve your website traffic. Consider a situation where high ranking websites have links pointing back to your website. If well executed, the thousands or millions of people who read content in these websites are likely to follow the links and land on your website. In addition to that, backlinks make sure search engines see your website as a credible source of information and thus rank you highly. A simple way to get backlinks to your website is through guest posting. Consider approaching websites with your geographical area that rank highly and request them to allow you to post content on their websites. Make sure you tactically link back to your website. Number 5, get social. Search engines nowadays use social media signals as part of the ranking algorithm. For this reason, you really need to work on your social media presence. Start with creating official business pages on the top social media platforms. Next, work on a feasible content strategy to keep your audience engaged. Remember to always respond to customers' queries and suggestions. Keep your social media content relevant to your target audience. Number 6, use web analytics tools. As you proceed with your SEO journey, it pays to constantly monitor your website performance. To do so, link your website with a reliable analytics tool. This should be able to give you reports on the following website metrics. Bounce rate. This is a count of how many website visitors leave your website without visiting any other page. A high bounce rate is an indication that you need to improve the navigability of your website so that visitors visit more pages. Traffic sources. Knowing how much traffic you receive from organic search, social media sites, or direct visits will help you know which of your marketing strategies are working well and which ones you need to improve. Dwell time. It's not a good thing if your website visitors spend very little time on your web pages. This may imply that they simply glance at your content and immediately get uninterested, and thus you may need to make your content more engaging so that visitors spend quality time on your web pages. Number 7, use keyword-rich URLs. The structure of your website URLs is important in two major ways. Search engines look at the URL to quickly determine the kind of content a particular web page holds. Savvy web users use the URL structure to navigate around your website. Here are handy tips to implement in structuring your website URLs. Include your target keywords in the URL. Use hyphens instead of underscores to separate words in the URL, since some of search engines can't create website cookies when the URL has an underscore. Follow a standard URL structure so that your website visitors can easily identify what category and subcategory of article they are currently in. This improves user experience. Make your URLs shorter and direct to the point. Keyword stuffing will be outrightly detected by search engines and negatively affect the web page ranking. You really don't need pronouns and articles in your URLs. Stick to small letters. Caps will only confuse search engines and users. Use readable URLs instead of automatically generated ones with complex strings of characters. Number 8, work on your page loading speed. Understand that this is a generation that needs everything delivered to them as quickly as possible. Very few people will bear with you if your page takes more than a couple of seconds to load. They'll simply abandon your website and head to other sites. Therefore, improve your page loading speed through tactics such as compressing files on your website, optimizing images, enabling browser caching, implementing content delivery networks, increasing your host server bandwidth, reducing HTTP requests. In summary, there are lots of tactics to implement as a means to boost your online marketing efforts. Simply start with one tip at a time and monitor your performance over time to determine their effectiveness.